Hey everyone, welcome to Storyboard. Today, we're going way back to a time when Rome was nothing more than a tiny village nestled by the gentle waters of the Tiber River. Picture a humble settlement where every face was familiar and every day was filled with hard work and quiet hope. In these early moments, there were no grand palaces or towering monuments, only simple homes built of stone and wood and narrow paths worn smooth by the footsteps of neighbors. The people of this village woke before the sun had fully risen, and as the first light crept over the river, they would gather water from the clear, cold stream and tend to small gardens where they grew vegetables and herbs. Life here was straightforward, almost pure in its simplicity, and every small act mattered. Imagine mothers and fathers working side by side in the fields, children laughing as they chased each other along dusty paths, and elders sitting together under ancient olive trees, sharing stories of the past and dreams for the future. There was a magic in this simplicity, a deep, unspoken belief that even the smallest actions could lead to greatness. Every shared meal, every word exchanged, every tool carefully crafted by hand was a building block for what was to come. The villagers lived by the rhythm of nature and the steady pulse of the river. In the soft light of dawn, the whole settlement felt alive with possibility. The simple chatter in the market, the rustle of leaves in the wind, and the distant hum of everyday life all blended into a harmonious sound that promised a bright future. Even though they had little in material wealth, they possessed something far more valuable, a sense of unity and the drive to create a community that would one day grow into something extraordinary. It is in these early moments that the heart of Rome was born, beating steadily with hope, determination, and the promise of a new beginning that would eventually transform the world. Now, let's move forward in time to a period when Rome was ruled by kings, a time of both order and growing discontent. Imagine a busy town center where a single ruler, adorned in royal garments and a heavy crown, made decisions that affected every life in the village. The king's word was law, and his presence loomed large over every gathering and celebration. Life under the king was structured, with strict rules and traditions that everyone followed. However, as Rome grew, the people began to sense that one person alone could not carry the weight of their dreams and needs. Picture families sitting together after a long day's work, sharing simple meals while quietly discussing the challenges they faced. Whispers of change started to spread like a soft breeze through crowded alleys and humble homes. The people began to wonder if a single ruler, no matter how powerful, could truly understand and represent their diverse needs. In the quiet corners of bustling markets, and in the intimate glow of candlelit homes, discussions about fairness and shared responsibility took root. There was a growing feeling that the old system, though steeped in tradition, was no longer enough for a community that was hungry for progress and unity. The king's authority, once seen as a comforting constant, started to feel restrictive, like a heavy cloak that stifled the fresh ideas of the people. Every day, more voices joined in the chorus for a new way of governing, a way where decisions were made together rather than dictated by one man. This growing desire for equality and collaboration marked the slow, inevitable end of the old kingdom, setting the stage for something completely new and exciting to emerge. Then, a dramatic change swept over Rome. The village transformed itself from a kingdom into a republic. Imagine stepping into a large, open square in the heart of the city where no single person held all the power. Instead, people from all walks of life gathered together to share their ideas, debate new rules, and decide the fate of their community. In this new republic, every voice mattered and decisions were made collectively rather than handed down from on high. Picture ordinary citizens, from hard-working farmers to skilled artisans, standing shoulder to shoulder, speaking their minds with a sense of purpose and belonging. The atmosphere was electric with the energy of possibility. Every conversation, every heated debate was a step toward building a fairer and more inclusive society. There was an honest, unfiltered quality to these discussions. People weren't afraid to disagree or challenge old ideas because they believed that by talking things out, they could create a system that truly represented them all. The public square became a symbol of this new way of life, a place where ideas were exchanged freely and where the future was shaped by the collective will of the people. It wasn't an easy transition. There were moments of conflict, misunderstandings, and even frustration. But through it all, the spirit of togetherness and mutual respect kept everyone moving forward. The birth of the Republic was like a breath of fresh air, an exciting, hopeful moment when the idea of sharing power became a reality. This was the beginning of a government where every citizen had a part to play and where the strength of the community lay in its unity and shared dreams. With the Republic established, Rome's focus shifted to the world beyond its familiar borders. Imagine a time when the people, fueled by a mix of courage and curiosity, began to explore new lands and test their strength. The streets of Rome, once quiet and intimate, now buzzed with the energy of ambitious citizens ready to face challenges head-on. Envision rows of determined soldiers marching in formation across open fields, their faces set with determination as they stepped into the unknown. They weren't just warriors, they were pioneers, explorers, and builders of a bold future. In the heat of the day, under the vast blue sky, these men and women set out on journeys that would expand their world and bring back new ideas, techniques, and stories. In the evenings, around the flickering light of a campfire, leaders would gather with their soldiers, poring over simple maps drawn on scraps of parchment and discussing the next steps of their adventure. Every battle fought, every small victory earned was not only about winning land, it was about learning, growing, and proving that together they could overcome any obstacle. The excitement of these campaigns spread like wildfire through Rome. Families waited eagerly for news of brave souls returning home, their hearts swelling with pride at each small success. The stories of these adventures were told and retold in every corner of the city, inspiring even the youngest children to dream of a grand future. Rome was becoming more than just a community, it was a living, breathing symbol of ambition and the relentless pursuit of greatness. The courage, the struggles, and the triumphs of those early expeditions lit a spark that promised a future filled with endless possibilities and a legacy that would endure for generations. As we reach the end of our first chapter, let's pause and reflect on the incredible journey that has led Rome from a tiny riverside village to a thriving republic. Imagine the city at dusk, bathed in the soft, golden light of the setting sun. The ancient walls, the bustling streets, and the quiet corners of the public square all seem to whisper stories of hard work, hope, and shared dreams. Every stone laid by hand, every meal shared among neighbors, and every heartfelt conversation in the public square helped build a foundation strong enough to support the great empire that was destined to follow. In the cool, fading light of the day, the people of Rome gathered together, their voices soft yet full of hope, discussing what the future might hold. They knew that each small act of kindness, each decision made in unity, was a step towards something far greater than themselves. The transformation from a kingdom ruled by a single man to a community that embraced the power of every individual was a turning point in Rome's history. It wasn't just a change in government, it was a change in the very spirit of the city. The new republic represented the belief that everyone had a role to play, that every person's ideas and efforts could contribute to a shared destiny. The warm glow of the evening light illuminated not just the physical city but also the hearts of its people who believed in the promise of tomorrow. They knew that their united efforts were the seeds of an empire that would one day stretch across continents and change the world forever. As night fell and the stars began to twinkle overhead, the citizens of Rome went to bed with a quiet confidence and a deep understanding that their small, everyday actions were laying the groundwork for a future full of hope and greatness. Thank you for joining me on this first part of our epic journey here on Storyboard. In the next episode, we will explore how Rome's ambition led to bold adventures and the first steps toward a vast empire. Until then, stay curious, keep exploring, and always remember that even the smallest beginning can spark a legacy that lasts forever.